Join us Thursday for more Seahawk Talk with Fall Sports. We'll have special guests Jack Gelfi, Suki Singh, Sebastian Nordsey, Steph Dooley, and John Ingalls. That's 3 to 4 p.m. See you then. Hello and welcome to Seahawk Talk on Thursday, May 21. I'm Ed Habishaw. A little technical difficulties as we try to bring in our first guests. I'll give you the entire guest lineup shortly. It's easy for me to say. Here they are. Okay, from Salve Regina football, two recent grads, Jack Gelfi and Suki Singh, both class of 2020 and both returning to the Seahawk campus as grad students and helping out with the program in the fall. Sebastian Nordsey follows. He's our head women's volleyball coach. And Stephanie Dooley, also a recent grad from our equestrian program, and we'll finish Thursday's guest lineup with John Ingalls, our head sailing coach. All right.
In sports, a coach is a person involved in the direction, instruction, and training of the operations of a sports team or individual sports people. A coach may also be a teacher.
Thank you, Siri. I just triggered Siri off my iPhone. That's something that I haven't done before. But now let me trigger something else to showcase our first two guests. Our Salve Regina football team has its year-end banquet typically in April, and they bestow quite a few awards. And one of the awards that they had this year was for Most Improved Player, and Nick Palucci got to present that award to one of our next guests.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Nick. I was number 5 this past season. I hope everyone's doing okay and well during these tough times, and I wish you all the best. I also want to just congratulate my fellow senior brothers on graduation. It's one heck of an accomplishment, boys, and I wouldn't have wanted to share that experience with anybody else. It is an honor and my privilege to be able to announce this year's Most Improved Player Award. While many players come to mind from offense, defense, and special teams, this player stands out amongst them all. This player has displayed tremendous effort, hard work, and dedication to the team and his craft as a football player. If you take a look at this player from freshman year to senior year, he truly embodies the football transformation that comes from relentless pursuit and dedication to Tom Blaney's workout plan. This man is known amongst all others to take care of the little things to achieve the bigger picture. He is an outstanding leader, an outstanding football player, and always encouraging others while leading by example. This player was on scout team the majority of his career, but never let that set him back or take over his work ethic. As a sophomore, he struggled to get called up from the scout team, and not making the bus was a struggle for him, but he never felt sorry for himself. This player did not travel to all games his junior year, but that just kept fueling the fire to his hard work and persistent effort. As a senior, this player started every game for us and was a force on the defensive line. He displayed what it really means to be a part of trench warfare. To all players trying to make it onto the field, this man is a perfect example of working your way up, gaining coach's trust, and being able to perform on Saturdays. If you ever have any questions, I know he'll be able to answer those and motivate you the best he can. We all have seen this man miss 405 on the squat rack on test day. That is until he was filled with joy and popped up that weight no problem after a hard off-season of work. We all remember watching him sweat from stretching in the weight room, and when asked why he was so sweaty, he would reply to us, "This is hard work, bro." In camp, we would see this man always before practice rolling out, stretching. During the regular season, he'd be at treatment at 6 a.m., always taking care of his body so that he could perform for us on Saturdays. It goes without question that this player is deserving of this award, and I am proud to announce that the Salve 2019 Most Improved Player Award goes to Suki Singh. Congrats, brother.
Suki Singh, Most Improved Player, and he joins me and Jack Gelfie on Seahawk Talk today. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you?
Doing well. Yeah, thanks for having us, Ed.
Excellent. Hopkinton and Arlington. Were there high school rivalries between you two?
So I actually played Arlington my senior year in Lax in the playoffs, and we actually beat them. So me and him usually talk about that once in a while whenever we bring up high school. So that's always fun to talk about.
He's lucky football didn't play each other, though.
Well, tell me this. You did you know each other before Salve Regina?
We did not.
No.
Nope.
And then did you discover...
First day of orientation.
Did you guys discover that you guys were born just 2 days apart?
We learned that around his birthday, because his birthday is before mine. He goes, oh, like my birthday's it's right on the corner. I'm like, oh my God, like so is mine. So it was fun every year, kind of doing something together with all like our friends and having a party and stuff. So that was a lot of fun every year.
Well, Suki, I'm showcasing the shirt through my green shirt, the shirt that you designed. Tell me about that and how that came about. You did a nice job designing this shirt. We're showing Jody's tweet on Twitter, obviously. That's where tweets are. And tell me about that design.
Yeah, we like Salve football and like SalveAthletics has given a lot. So especially to the seniors. So that'd be nice to do something for the seniors, like a goodbye gift. So Jody and I decided that we'd come up with something that obviously represented Salve, the teams, but also kind of showed the unity between all the teams and Salve. So that's how that design came up.
20 teams, one family. It looks good through my green screen shirt in Zoom. One of those nice features in Zoom. Gentlemen, tell me about your final year in football as players and what you're looking forward to next year.
Go ahead, Sue.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. I think like every day, like during the off season, I would think of it as like my last time of being in the weight room on that day. Like after so many years of just putting in work for one goal, I think when it all came to an end, I was kind of sad and kind of disbelief that like my whole high school career and college was for that one goal of playing. And it was nice to start this year and starting with Gelfie, Potch, and all these other defensive linemen. But I'm definitely going to miss it, and I'm glad to be back next year with John so we could be coaching as well. So that's nice.
Yeah, something that we always talked about on defense this year was taking everything one play at a time. That's kind of what I did this season in the off season. Just kind of take everything slow and take everything in. So on that last day, I was ready, but obviously I was still sad. But again, for me, I'm coming back to coach, so it really hasn't hit me yet. I still get to be a part of this great program with Coach Camarden and all my other coaches, and a bunch of my teammates are coming back to coach. So I'm still really excited to be a part of it, and I can't wait to get back this August.
Where will your coaching responsibilities entail? Where will you guys be specifically?
Yeah, so specifically me, I'll be back with the D-line, trying to help the younger guys with Coach Crank and just kind of working on the plays.
I'll also be on that side of the ball. I'm working with linebackers with Coach Delayed, helping out the freshmen and kind of doing whatever they need me to do.
When did you guys start playing football, respectively? And was it always on the defensive side of the ball? And how did you develop a passion for that?
Good.
Yeah, I think I started when I was in 6th grade. So I was just like, I kind of want to start playing football. I saw it on TV and I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. Let's see how it goes. and I started on the defensive line and offensive line. And I was like, I really don't like offense that much. So moved over to the defensive side. And from there, just played in high school. And I thought, in college, why not just continue this? So Salve was a great fit for me academically, and the coaches really felt like with the coaches, I felt like I was at home. So, and it worked out pretty well. So 4 years later, I'm graduating, and I played football.
Outstanding.
I started in fourth grade. I actually played linebacker and offensive line my entire life. And when I was on my overnight, and I was talking to Coach Gill, he said I was a little too small to play offense, so we were going to try me at defense. And I came in my freshman year as a linebacker, and Coach Gill said he thought I'd be probably playing a little bit better on the D-line, so I made the switch halfway through freshman year, and it worked out well for me. So that's the testament to Coach Gill and what he knows about the game.
You graduate with a huge group of fellow classmates. Talk about the connectivity that you've had with this group from freshman year through senior year.
Yeah, I think we think of teammates as people, specifically at Salve, as brothers. We could call any of the 100 guys on the team at any point of the day, and they'll show up. No questions asked. Wherever you need them, they're there. And that's what really brought me in at Salve in the beginning, because it felt like a family. And especially the senior class, we really tried this year and have been sticking together wherever we go out, whatever we do. If we're going to go grab something to eat, there'll be 15, 20 of us together. It's just wherever we go together, and we do it together.
Yeah, kind of what Suki said. It's a huge group, especially the senior class. We're a huge senior class. So even though there's 110 guys on the roster, there's still 30-something dudes in the senior class. So whenever you're doing something, you're never alone. At Miley or in Rogers or going out, you're never by yourself, which I think is huge because I love being around people. And that's something that I fell in love with in the school is you're always with other people. You're always with your friends. And I really love that about Salve football, and I really love that about Salve.
So even though you brought in one of the biggest freshman classes ever for the Seahawks, seniors still did rule, correct?
Mm-hmm. Always, of course.
Always.
We're showing on screen the team picture day back in the fall at Topa Field. You got to experience the transition going from Gaudet Field as a home site to Topa Field. What was that like?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a weird transition. We would always, that 15-minute drive in the morning at 6 a.m. For practice, it was always our mental preparation time. But all jokes aside, I think I became a huge fan of Topa. Just the atmosphere there, the stands, the new turf. I was all about it. I loved it. And Gaudet had its perks too. But for me, Topa was a lot better, a lot nicer.
Yeah, I think, although we played at Gaudet my freshman year, Topa is leaps and bounds better. Just the facilities are nicer. The turf is nicer. It's easier for people to get there, including the parents and the alumni who want to go watch games. So I think that was huge for Salve to do that. I think it's going to be huge for the program for years to come.
Yeah, and a fresh turf helped you guys lay the groundwork to becoming the 45th ranked team in the country in rushing defense. Talk about the pride you take in your ability to stop opponents with the run.
Go ahead, Sue.
Yeah. I think we really emphasize the fact that as a defensive unit, especially this front seven, we got to stop the run. And Coach Moreau really emphasized that fact that do your job, and everything else falls into place. So I think, especially with the D-line, we really made sure that don't let anyone run the ball. You just don't let it happen, whatever you got to do, whatever it takes to just make sure that they can't get an inch. So.
Yeah, going on with what Suki said, Coach Rose, one of his biggest rules was stopping the run. That was like our first priority. And I think having the D-line be comprised of all seniors, I think that really helped too, because we were always on the same page mentally, and we always knew what we were ready to do. We were always focused on doing our job. So I think having an older group in the front seven, I think that really helped us kind of establish a foothold there and kind of just doing our thing. And we took a lot of pride in stopping the run. That was like our main focus every week. And I just think it's pretty impressive for us to be able to do that.
Well, I enjoyed watching you on the field competing for Salve football, and I'll look forward to watching you on the sidelines helping our future Seahawks be the best on the gridiron.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
Suki and Jack, thanks for joining me on Seahawk Talk, and wish you the best of luck. Have a great summer, and we'll see you back in August.
Thanks, Ed.
Thanks, Ed.
Take care. That's Suki Singh and Jack Gelfie, class of 2020 Seahawks. Played football from 2016 through 2019, and we'll be jumping over to volleyball and digging with our Seahawk head volleyball coach, Sebastian Nordsee, after this short break. Hello and welcome back to Seahawk Talk on Thursday, May 21. I'm Ed Habishaw. We just finished with Jack Gelfie and Suki Singh from Salve Regina Football. Now we'll jump right over to Salve Regina Volleyball and check in with our head volleyball coach, Sebastian Nordsee. Welcome, Coach. How are you?
Hey, Ed. How's it going?
Very good. Trying to press the right buttons all these times. Getting that lower third up there. I love the signage behind you. Is that your artwork or somebody else's?
Oh, absolutely mine. You know, this Seahawk Talk just needed a little bit something extra. So my artwork, it was what it was.
Hey, tell me about the facial hair growth that seems to have been trimmed from earlier episodes, but well maintained at the same time, and it's growing.
Yeah, so I am not someone who usually grows a beard, as you can see by my headshot on the website. So when it started growing in, I never realized how itchy it was. So I kept going like this the whole time. I got to trim it up and clean it up just a little bit. Otherwise, I'll be scratching it the whole entire time.
Well, we're going to show some images right now of when you were a fresh-faced youngster all the way back, I think, 10 years ago.
Yep.
For when you were helping lead Hendricken to a state title, and then after that as a coaching person on the sidelines. Here we go with some nice footage. Obviously meaning the front line at the net. I'm not going to do play-by-play, but I see a nice attack and a nice set first of all, and then just an easy put away for you. Celebration by the Hawks. Coming over from the right side and making a nice swing. And then the eventual team just celebrating a championship. I believe that was at Rhode Island College. Was that the site of the championships?
Yeah, so in high school I won 2 championships. My junior year, the site was at LaSalle Academy, and my senior year was at Rhode Island College.
Okay, I could notice the setting there. So that must have been from your senior year, the footage that I was showing, and then also your background as a coach with it looks like girls. So tell us about that. When did that take place? I think I got it from South County sources.
Yep. All right, cool. So I started coaching right after college. It was actually during my senior year. I started coaching at Exeter West Greenwich with one of my now mentors, awesome volleyball mind. Really got me into coaching. This was boys volleyball. I did that for 3 years. And then I started doing some camps and for the women's side of the game. And I just found that level and the appreciation that the women have. They're always saying, thank you, coach. They're super, sweet, but hardworking at the same time. Fell in love with that. I got the opportunity to play or to coach South Kingstown girls volleyball, which was another great experience. And then my old high school coach, he actually started a club called South County Volleyball. And he called me up and was like, hey, I have a 14s team for you. I don't know if you're interested. And I was like, yes, I'm interested. Like, all right, practices are here. I don't know if you're too busy. And I was like, stop trying to sell me on this. I already said yes, I'm in. And that was probably 5 years ago now. And I've been doing it ever since. And I've been loving it ever since.
So he had you at hello.
Yeah, absolutely. Then I found out I could and I was like, whoa, even better.
Not sure if you saw our awards ceremony, our virtual awards ceremony on Friday evening. When I was putting together the Seahawks in Service piece, it just worked out so well that when the lyrics of the song from Five for Fighting, the song was World, and he just said, can you dig it? And right at that same time, I'm showing footage of Salve Virginia women's volleyball helping out with the move-in on Labor Day back in 2019, and they're all in their Seahawks moving t-shirts, bright fluorescent green, and Alexa Winter was the biggest one that reacted. Oops, sorry, I just triggered somebody over here. Freshman, last name Winter, first name begins with an A, just reacted to the camera and said, yeah, right after the lyric, can you dig it?
I actually did notice that, and I was like, wow, that is awesome video production right there. Nice touch.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. And let's talk about somebody that won an award. A senior won the Habershaw Stewardship Award, Annie Donahue.
Yeah, so I've actually never had the opportunity to meet Annie, but I've only heard such great things about her. Coach Parsons had all great things to say. All the girls had great things to say. People around the community had such awesome things to say. And I was just like, oh, man, are you sure you're graduating this year?
I know. Can you have another year of eligibility, please?
Yeah, I wish. That would be a treat to have Annie in the middle again.
Well, she gave a nice acceptance speech through her video submission, and I was really touched by all of our Seahawks that submitted videos with a message of thanks and gratitude. How they all recognized their fellow seniors in most cases, and especially the spring sport athletes, and how they felt for them in terms of missing their season, especially if they were a senior. And Annie was one of those, obviously, with her stewardship recognition.
Yeah, and it's so nice to see that the class of 2020 is pulling for each other, because as an athlete, I remember my last season. I remember how heartfelt it was, how much I worked towards it, and I'm positive all these other class of 2020 spring athletes were doing the same thing. So for them to have their seasons kind of ripped away, all the hard work that they've been doing, it's got to be super emotional. And for the fall athletes, the winter athletes, basically the whole entire 2020 class getting together and supporting each other, that's been a really cool thing for me to see as a first-year coach at Salve. And I'm hoping that all this other classes coming in are the same type of kids, always supporting each other and, building that community with each other.
And it's not just Salve in Newport that's extending the recognition. I saw on Channel 10 last evening how Rogers High School is being recognized throughout the city of Newport with beautiful banner displays on light posts, and it was a nice feature on Channel 10. I don't know if you had a chance to see that.
Yeah, no, but I drove down Thames the other day, and on Thames there's a giant banner saying, "Congrats, Rogers 2020 class," or something like that.
Yeah, the city did a really nice job. I may show that footage in a show later this week, how they every senior submitted their high school portrait in cap and gown to some organization that made these signs, and they've got them hanging with every senior's image and first name on light posts, and they're in pairs. So it's a really neat thing to see. I haven't seen it in person myself. Haven't been down in Newport in a while, but just seeing it on Channel 10 last night was pretty neat.
Yeah, it's awesome. I can't wait to see it driving down Newport this summer.
Well, Seahawks will be back in August. Sans Victoria Schwenman and Annie Donahue. Tell me what you can tell me about recruiting-wise and how that's going.
Yeah, so it's been going pretty well. We have 2 incoming freshmen the upcoming year in August. A middle from New York and an outside from Arizona. 2 quality players. I'm excited for what they're going to bring to the program. And then it's just the experience of the rest of the team bringing them along. And then the class behind that, I've been really doing a deep dive into. Nice. And it just is awesome. I already have some quality athletes who are definitely interested. And, I'm sure once they come to Newport, they're going to absolutely fall in love with this place like we all have. And, they're going to probably be great additions to Salve volleyball.
Yeah, Sebastian, once they see that signage behind you, they can't help but say, that's where we want to be.
Yeah, how do I get this framed to put in my office?
Just rip it off the wall there and bring it on down to Rogers Recreation Center.
Next time you need a mural done, I'm your guy.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll talk to you next week. Have a great 3-day weekend.
Thanks, Ed. You too.
Take care. That's Sebastian Nordsey, Salve Virginia University women's volleyball head coach. I'm Ed Habishaw. We'll be back with Steph Dooley of our equestrian program after this short break. Hello and welcome back to SeahawkTalk. I got a chance to go outside today. It's so nice out and I'm so looking forward to going outside. Well, I won't be outside, but we'll bring our audience to where our next guest is outside. She is a recent grad from Salve Virginia University in the nursing program, and she's also a member of our equestrian team. Please welcome Stephanie Dooley. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good. We're bringing you in to Seahawk Talk from Cumberland, Rhode Island. And you had a unique experience because you came to Salve, Virginia to study nursing, and we did not yet have a full-fledged varsity equestrian program. Talk about what you went through to say, hey, I want to go there, I want to study nursing, and I hope that the equestrian program will soon be elevated to varsity status.
Yeah, it was a learning curve and a growing process through my time at Salve. I started out when we were still a club. We were practicing over in Tiverton. The expectations were a lot less because we were only doing lessons once a week, and it was just kind of on us to improve our own skills. And then we made the transition to varsity, and even the first year, it was still, there were some growing pains. We were trying to get the girls who had come from the club over to that varsity mindset of, this is a bigger commitment. You need to work out on your off days. We're going to practice more. But to see where we began just as a club with a few girls over in Tiverton to where we are now. And I mean, next season, I just think this team is going to dominate the region. So to see in such a short time how far the team has come is pretty incredible.
And you've had the opportunity to go from one home site to another home site to finally we are at Sandy Point Stables. Talk about the process of moving around to 3 different sites.
Yeah, we've been at a different place every year. All of them have been great, and it's nice to experience different horses because everywhere we've gone, we've gotten to ride different horses based on the clients that are at that barn boarding, and if they're, generous enough to offer their horses for us to practice. It's a really great experience because it just prepares us better for the IHSA because you never know who you're going to draw from one show to the next. And so getting all that experience on different horses is really valuable.
And when did you get your first experience on a horse? And how early did you fall in love with equestrian?
So my mom actually has been riding for most of her life, and she bought a horse when I was about 4 years old. Nice. So I've grown up as a barn rat, and I've always been around horses, and it's just always been part of my life. But doing it in college is definitely a totally different environment because it's all about the competition aspect of it, and that's not really what I did growing up. So even though it's all within the same sport, it was definitely a transition to make into the IHSA.
Well, especially since, I don't know if many people know it, you can ride your own horse all you want and become an expert with your own equine. But when you're competing at the collegiate level, you have to rely on being able to make adjustments because you never know what kind of horse you're going to be on.
Right, yeah, that's the huge difference between doing your own shows with your own horse and then doing IHSA, and you could be on anything.
So what did lead you to Salve besides the nursing program?
Honestly, it was the environment. I remember going to the Connections Day after I'd been accepted, and I actually kind of had my heart set on a couple other schools, and when I pulled into Salve and they were all cheering and they had posters and everything, I felt like I was coming home. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it just felt so much like a community, and I couldn't deny that was where I needed to be.
And then you became part of that community, and through 3+ years into your senior year, you're one of 3 captains, along with Hannah Gray and Kenna Rooney. Talk about the leadership skills that you helped develop over those years and how you implemented it with equestrian. Yeah,
I think working together, the 3 of us all bring something unique, and I've been able to work with them for the past 3 years, and Kenna is really great with like her marketing and fundraising and doing our social media and stuff, and Hannah's very good at doing all the management stuff and on show day, like just very organized. And I like doing stuff with the team, more like the socializing and bonding and stuff like that. So I think we all really bring something to the table, and we've worked really well together. And I'm excited for Emmy to step up next year, and I think she'll be great. But I think it's all about working together and communicating and just making sure that everyone has a role. And I think so far that's worked really well for us.
Steph, what kind of legacy do you hope to leave behind for the program? And or let me take that word leave away, because who says you have to leave?
Yeah, I think our team has really good sportsmanship, and that's something that I've tried to work with our team on an individual level, and just making sure, like, talking to individual teammates, if they don't like how they rode, you know what, you don't need to show it. Like, you get on the horse that you pull, you ride, you do the best you can, but at the end of the day, you're there to support the rest of your team, and you just do your best next time. And I think having that good sportsmanship and that attitude is something that I want Salve to continue, and to represent our school well in our region and at the national level, like we have been the last 2 years, and we would have been this year.
Yes, you would have. So beyond graduation, Steph, what can you do to help Chelsea Francis and this program continue to make progress as an alum?
I'll definitely be around. I'm local, and I hope to be able to come back and kind of make up for some of the lost time with this season. So I'll definitely be there supporting at any of the shows that I can make it to. And I could definitely contribute as like a warm-up rider, something like that, or helping the team get ready. I've always loved doing that at the horse shows, getting everyone getting their hairnets on, getting their boots up, whatever. So I'll definitely be around to help as long as she'll have me.
And from an academic standpoint, how easily or how much of a challenge was it for you transitioning from the traditional on-campus learning to the online learning?
It was definitely challenging. The lecture courses transitioned pretty well. Not a lot had to change for that, but moving all of our clinicals online was very different, because our professors had to come up with 7.5 hours a week per clinical course to substitute that hands-on learning. And the bookwork was very important and very beneficial, but nothing really can replace that hands-on learning and getting comfortable with patients and talking to them. So it's a shame that we weren't able to finish out our clinical experience, but I think they did a really good job finding a substitute for it.
And there's no substitute for riding a horse online. I don't know of any video games out there that can simulate it. What does the future hold for Steph Dooley, both from a nursing standpoint and also from an equestrian standpoint?
Well, first step here is to pass my NCLEX and get my nursing license. So I'll be spending the next couple months preparing for that really in-depth preparation. So focus on that, and then we'll see if anybody wants to hire me. So we'll see if I can get a job, and that'll probably lead the rest of it. And hopefully I'll be able to continue riding. Maybe I'll be able to lease a horse or buy one down the road, because it's definitely something that I want to continue as part of my life.
Wonderful. Well, we wish you the most success in both areas, all areas, both from a nursing standpoint and continue your passion with horses.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steph. Good seeing you, and enjoy the sunshine in Cumberland.
Thanks.
Take care. That's Steph Dooley from Salve Virginia University equestrian team. She's coming from Cumberland, and maybe she'll go out and ride a horse this afternoon. Who knows? We'll be back with John Ingalls from our sailing team after a short break. Stay with us. Waiting for our head coach, John Ingles, to join us on Seahawk Talk. Stick with us. What? Still no answer? Come on! Apologize, but no go on conversation with John Ingles today. But perhaps we can record something and get it back on sometime soon. Thanks for joining us on Seahawk Talk today. I'm Ed Habishaw. Enjoyed our conversations today with Jack Gelfi, Suki Singh, Sebastian Nordsey, and Stephanie Dooley. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow with Feel Good Friday.
Tribute to the class of 2020 that you just can't miss. Banners featuring Rogers High School seniors on display now in Newport. NBC 10's Sam Reed shows us something good.
Along busy Broadway in Newport, Rogers High School seniors are shining.
It's kind of like the hub in the center of Newport, and we know it gets a lot of attention and focus, and people would see those kids up there.
Back-to-back banners with pictures of the graduating class of 2020 are hung for all to see.
I honestly, sobbed.
Yeah. Each one with their name and individual graduation picture.
Yeah, it was very overwhelming, and us being next to each other, that was awesome, too.
Parents, faculty, and community members rallied more than a month ago to raise funds to make this all possible.
The senior parents put up a GoFundMe page, and the financial outpouring from the community was amazing, pretty instantaneously.
The school photographer snapped pictures of them in their cap and gowns.
Because we took the pictures and they were like, something special is going to happen with these pictures. Make sure you show up all dolled up.
More than 130 of them went up earlier this week. It was a complete surprise for seniors.
They kept saying, we're going to make the best out of it, we're going to make the best out of it, and they really, really did that.
Rogers principal Jared Vance says the effort was well worth it.
And so just to be able to see them smile and enjoy something that we've done to honor them in this moment, makes us feel good.
A victory for the Vikings. Seniors say they take pride in their pictures, worth 1,000 words.
We're going to remember it way more than we would any other traditional graduation. It really just has made it so special. Yeah. Just thank you, thank you, thank you a million times over. Yeah.
Right now, there's no set date as to when these signs will come down. Those I spoke with say they hope they'll stay up for the whole summer. In Newport, Sam Reed, NBC 10 News.
That's pretty impressive. Rogers High School in Newport, Rhode Island. And then showing this photo, which is dated May 21, 1968, just 2 short weeks before Robert Kennedy, then senator and presidential candidate, was assassinated. That's coming to us from the Newport Daily News, thanks to their This Day in History feature. Thanks again for tuning in to Seahawk Talk. I'm Ed Habishaw. Have a great day.
Better keep your distance. Better keep your vanity.